Hello, my name is Sakshi, and my topic for today is why should India be concerned? Unveiling the complexities, understanding local impacts of climate change on Indian farmers. Climate change is one of the main environmental challenges facing the world today. India is facing several problems. Climate change is associated with various adverse impacts on agriculture, water resources, forest and biodiversity, health, coastal management, and increase in temperature. India has legitimate reasons to worry about climate change because a significant proportion of its population relies on climate dependent industries such as agriculture, forestry, and fishery for their means of living. According to the Global Climate Risk Index of 2021, India is ranked as the seventh most impacted country in the world as a result of climate change. The ongoing farmers' movement in India has taken the world's largest democracy by storm. Hundreds of thousands from all over the country have led siege to New Delhi for more than 2 months. As both the protesters and the government dig their heels in, the chances of confrontation and violence are increasing by the day. But why is this happening? As per the Indian government, in 2011, approximately 54.6% of the country's population was employed in agriculture sector. And within this group, government estimates suggest that 52 of the individuals lack access to irrigational facilities, relying solely on rain-fed agriculture for their farming needs. But that's not it. The main reason being due to the increase in global temperatures, rainfall patterns have become more unpredictable, leading to longer periods of dry spells and shorter bursts of intense rainfall. This vulnerability in rainfall not only has a direct impact on agricultural productivity but also affects the nutritional value of the crops. Climate change has caused more irregular rain patterns, including longer droughts and intense flood. This has directly affected Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare predicted in January 2019 that the production of wheat would decrease by 6 to 23% by the year to 2050 as a result of the effects of climate change. Research indicates that elevated levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere are contributing to a decline in the nutritional contents of the crop. The impact of these changes on those dependent on rain-fed farming is devastating, but those with access to irrigation are not spared either. Unpredictable rainfall patterns means the crop have less time to grow, producing less over time. Farmers resort to higher use of fertilizers and waters to compensate, degrading the quality of soil as well as lowering groundwater levels while spending much more to grow to grow the same amount or less on the same acreage. Insecticide use have also been increased, and not just to save the small amount of crops grown, but also because pest population change with the climate patterns. During such adverse condition, one of the main mitigations which Indian farmers use is migration as an adaptation strategy. During such adverse condition, one of the main adaptation strategies which Indian farmers use is migration. Human displacement in response to environmental shocks is not a new phenomenon. Hippocrates and Aristotle believed that characteristics of natural environment determine the human habitability of a region and in turn the characteristics of its inhabitant. Human migration is not only a response to poverty and social deprivation but also an adaptive response to changing climate. Farmers' migration choices are primarily driven by family-oriented strategies aimed at mitigating the potential financial loss and social disadvantages associated with the agricultural risk. By relocating, they seek to maintain a consistent level of consumption and minimize the impact of income fluctuation. Extreme weather events, sea level rise, environmental degradation are major consequences of climate change. These climate change are major cause of short or long-term migration due to loss of climate-sensitive occupation and low adaptive capacity in India. Caught between overproduction and crop failures, India's agricultural growth has become highly unstable in recent years. In India, extreme climate events, particularly extreme precipitation events, have tripled in numbers between 1950 and 2015. According to the International Disasters Database, the resulting economic loss in country increased from 20 billion for the period of 1988 to 1997 to 45 billion for 2008 to 2017. The number climbed up to 10 billion for the year 2020 alone. The devastation of the changed climate trends goes beyond the direct impacts. The biggest threat to agriculture's sustainability in India has become in form of disruption of crop patterns around which the country's political economy is built. In face of the inordinate uncertainty imposed by climate changes, farmers are switching from growing the previously profitable crops to less risky, less profitable ones. However, since there since there aren't too many options to choose from, switching en masse to the same crop result in overproduction and finally price crash. In the last few years, at some point, price of almost every major and minor crop in India has collapsed. Crushed under debt, a disturbing trend of farmers committing suicide has ensued. Amongst all this, there are some key activities and recommendations which Indian farmers and Indian government can follow, such as strengthening the research and development of adverse climate tolerant genotypes and land use system to ensure adequate food production, offering farmers in diverse agroclimate region valuable weather forecasts and relevant agro advisories to enhance climate risk management, implementation of financial incentives for farmers to encourage resource conservation and efficient utilization of carbon, water, and energy. There should be an increase in investment in water storage infrastructures and the adaptations of efficient technologies for water use. Lastly, galvanizing national and international consensus to prioritize food security and poverty alleviation as central objectives in climate negotiation. In conclusion, the climate risk is causing a significant increase in input costs to such an extent that farming is becoming unprofitable for a substantial number of farmers. Climate change presents significant challenges for adaptation, resulting in complex stressors that are not captured in standard aggregate data sets. It is crucial to understand these local intricacies to efficiently mitigate the impact of climate change on human societies. Thank you.